And then we had the Whites come and speak to us, and I know both Fleet and Priscilla, and I've had the great pleasure of meeting with them at their home and speaking with them on multiple occasions. I also was on the city council when John Benet was murdered, and I too have a son that's the same age as John Benet and Daphne, and I can remember going home one night after this murder and climbing and looking at my 6-year-old and just seeing how little he was and how anybody could have hurt somebody like that. I cannot for the life of me understand, and I guess I'm asking for a reason why we would not accept their request, and I need more understanding of that. And I don't know, you're talking about children who were 6 and 8 years old when this murder occurred, and their reputations as well as their parents' reputations have been affected, and I think that's something that's not okay. I think, as Fleet White III said, with the internet, you do have a crazy subsection out there, and they are very willing to make out-of-hand comments and statements about people that isn't followed up by fact. That death happened in late 1996, and I'm amazed that we have not yet fully finished everything. And I think one of the things, and I'm not a lawyer, I've just been on the council, but I think both Fleet and the second and Priscilla are in earnest of wanting to clear their family's name. And I feel that, at least from what I have read, that this Nancy Krebs was a person without substance, without any credibility, and really took a hard wipe at the Fleet White family. And I think whatever we can do to put them back, to make them feel whole after all of these years, I don't think we ever can do that, but I think we can do something to help them feel whole. And so whether that has to be told to me in a confidential memo,
I can explain why.
Or something, but
and the reason is pretty clear, and this isn't a new issue.
I know
the Whites sued us several years ago to get these documents. So the issue is these are police investigative documents in an open investigation. So the police objected to the disclosure of the documents because they showed police investigative techniques in an open investigation. A judge did an in-camera review of the documents, and she decided that some of the documents should be released. So those documents were released, and those are the ones that were provided to you. There are other documents that this independent judge decided would disclose confidential police investigative techniques, and particularly relating to an ongoing murder investigation, and she ordered that they not be released. That was several years ago. The current lawsuit, asked the current district court to reconsider that decision. There's a concept in law called res judicata, that the court rules on something, they rule on it once. And there's no purpose in having a second judge make the same determination. I'm not an expert in police investigation or police investigative techniques. This was all tried long before I was here. There was a hearing, as I said, and the judge reviewed them in camera. The judge decided that. My only role in this has been when a second lawsuit comes in on the same subject, asking for a different judge to reconsider the same opinion, that's not something that's done. So we got that dismissed, and that's where that is right now. I would not recommend that the council get involved in making decisions on release of police records that involve investigative techniques in an ongoing investigation. It's unfortunate that this woman made these claims. I think they've been demonstrated that those claims were absolutely untrue. I think the police cleared them back shortly after that happened. I'm not sure what in these records would help. I haven't seen the records. As I said, my only involvement has been the second time the lawsuit came and getting it dismissed.
So what options would the Fleet White family have? Go back to court?
No, I mean, they've been to court.
Right.
A court ruled on this long before I was here.
So they have no appeal to that?
They decided not to appeal that then. They could have appealed back then. I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate.
It's really unfair. I mean, Ms. Wright personally pointed at me and suggested that I was doing something wrong, which is unfair. And that was
you
one of
weren't here, I understand
three people
that.
who suggested tonight that I've done something wrong. So, I mean, I
I'm
have a fairly
not-
thick
I'm
skin, but
not
I get
doing
tired of
that,
it
but-
at some point. So I can answer the questions, but that's why.
Okay.
So how long will the investigation be ongoing? Will it be cold cased and stay open for decades, or what will determine the?
Perhaps the police can answer, but I mean, it's an ongoing murder investigation, and usually murder investigations, since there's no statute of limitations, stay open until they find who did it.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but a grand jury chose to hand an indictment and a DA chose not to prosecute. So what impact does that have on the ongoing status? Could there be new evidence found and a new grand jury impaneled? I mean, I guess I'm asking for a realistic look forward. What is likely to happen with this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not my area.